Hi there. They call me the governor. And welcome to this live stream. It's our year-end Walking Dead live stream, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So, get ready to enjoy some shit or not. I don't really care, because I'm dead. So, subjects I want to talk about today. Obviously, mid-season finale, season 10. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about this new show, World Beyond. We're going to talk about some rumors that they may actually do a mini-series of me, which would be cool. And we're going to talk about maybe Walker Stalker Con. We're going to talk about the new Governor Reflects. We're going to talk about anything you want to talk about. But let's excuse me. Need something to drink here. Hey, Theric24, or is it The Wreck? What's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. So, if you have not watched all of the first part of Season 10 of The Walking Dead, get the fuck out, because we are going to talk about that. And, quite frankly, there will be spoilers. I just want to check, make sure my audio, I hope everyone is hearing me fine. We've had audio problems in the past. No, I'm not in a dungeon. I'm dead, so I'm in hell. It's even worse. But, yeah, if you see this background start to move at all, well, it's probably a cat back there. And there's a number of cats around. I don't know if they're going to come down. We'll have to see. Yo, Dylan. See you're doing games. Greetings, Germany. MVP Primetime. Is that Optimus Primetime? Because if so, I got to show my mouse pad. They have a nice shop down here in hell. All right. Season 10. What the fuck is up with Carol? I understand she's upset. I understand she lost Henry. Things have not been doing too well for her, but she has totally lost her mind. She used to have sense. I mean, the way she took out the Terminus folk, I mean, she is slick. But when it comes to, like, going after Alpha, she's got a blind spot bigger than mine. She's rushing into traps. She's just not thinking things through. So I don't know what's going on there, but I really hope that she gets her head on straight. Hey, Renee. Was it Renee? Welcome. So Carol has been a big disappointment this year. She's definitely still a fan favorite character, and I definitely want to see her and Alpha go at it. But really, she's fucking up big time. And Daryl's starting to talk sense more and more. I mean, where did that come from? Did he, like, somehow inherit some of the wisdom of Herschel? You know, did it... When I cut off Herschel's head, which, you know, my bad, did his wisdom fly off into the universe and eventually come to rest in Daryl? Wow. Hey, Henry. Welcome. And, yeah, those... I don't see where Rick was such a big deal. They call me crazy. Did you see him with Porch Stick Pete? Did you see him just, like, going after somebody's wife? But anyway, we're talking about Season 10. Hey, Teddy. Welcome. Hey, HFG. Liar. Yeah, Rick was a big liar. And it took 3 of those fuckers to kill me. But, yeah, Daryl's talking sense. Shame about Sadiq. I like Sadiq as a background character. I didn't really like how much attention they were giving him with his PTSD stuff. He should have been looking for help sooner. That was my thought. And the whole Dante thing, that was a bit of a shock. I knew he was a creep. I didn't think he was that much of a creep. Well, it would have been a shock, except some assholes posted spoilers on one of the Skybound reaction compilations. Assholes. Anyways, yeah, don't post spoilers. I hate spoilers. Spoiler space always. But yeah, Dante, it's a big shock. I'm sad to see Sadiq go. And what is Rosita going to end up doing? I mean, all right, let's talk about the trail a little bit. She actually going to kiss Eugene, or is this like him having a little dream? I would expect he's had lots of dreams like that. But yeah, I don't think him getting together with Rosita is good at all. No, not going to happen. Anyways, there's a bunch of people here. Thank you, welcome, all 9 of you. And before I continue, just want to mention, if you feel like it, I've been told super chats help out the channel. And if not, you can check out, they got a Patreon now. And I'm in the midst of recording some new stuff for the Patreon. It's going to be called The Governor Reflects, and I'm going back to Season 1, Episode 1 of The Walking Dead, and I'm going to react to every single episode, even before I came on board. And then, of course, when I show up, you know who the hero is. So it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be patron only for a couple reasons. One, copyright claims suck. I don't know if some of you have noticed, but I'll put up a reaction and then it'll get blocked. Sometimes it'll come back, sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll come back for certain countries, sometimes it won't come back for other countries. It's just, so this Patreon thing should not be affected at all by the copyright claims, I'm hoping. Knock on Formica. So, Governor Reflects, we're going back to the very beginning. And I know when I first started the series, I was doing more reviews, so I may redo those as reactions as well. But again, those will be for the patrons. Father G. Maybe he died? You know, I have to say something about Father Gabriel. Obviously, like everybody, didn't like Father Gabriel to start with. He was a coward. He was a suck-up. He tried to get Deanna to kick Rick and his crew out of Alexandria. Now, I'm not upset that he tried to kick out Rick, because Rick is a fucking madman and should have been kicked out. And however those 3 Circa people are dealing with him, I don't envy them at all. But Father Gabriel has come around. He's grown on me. And the actor who plays him, nice guy. Unless he's in a shitty mood. And then, you know, he's not a bad guy. He's just, you can tell when he doesn't want to be bothered. I saw him at a couple cons. And I saw him when he was having problems with his hotel room and was going up to the desk to talk about it. And not very talkative at that point. But generally, Seth, great guy. One of the first interviews we ever did on Fandom Spotlite for Walking Dead cast was Seth Gilliam. The other one, Ross Marquand. So that's kind of cool. I'm hoping they don't just kill off Father Gabriel. I think he should stick around for a while longer. He's already... Well, look at it this way. We got Coco. Rosita may not be long for the show because she's going on to a Selena TV series. So she may be leaving the show. And if she leaves, unless she's going to be pulling some Maggie shit and going on the road with Georgie and Coco, you know, Coco needs someone to watch her if she dies. So Gabriel has to stay around. I mean, Eugene can definitely help out, but he's going to be like, all right, baby, you've been crying for 3.2 minutes and you have 0.7 minutes left and then you need to stop crying. Absolutely. Yeah, will Rosita survive 10B? I don't know. the weird thing is, the way the show works compared to the way the comic works. The comic, totally story-driven. What they want to happen, happens. The show, sometimes it's a little reliant on the actor availability. Because if, Christian Saratos is leaving the show, then she may die just because it's more convenient that way. And I do like the fact that we don't always know what's going to happen on the show, even if you've read the comic or are familiar with some of the storylines. It's great that there are some twists, and it's not always the same, because otherwise it'd be boring. It's just watching the same thing over and over again. But if an actor wants to leave the show, like Andrew Lincoln did, Rick in the comic almost lasted to the very end. Rick in the show, actually survived that blast to the bridge, which is shocking. I wanted him to just die painfully, but, that's just me. Not everyone shares that opinion. Yeah, I would say with Christian leaving the show, it's pretty clear that something's going to happen to her character. She may die. It was lucky for Lauren Cohen that she left and was able to come back. She left in such a way that she didn't cut her ties, because Whiskey Cavalier. All right. So, do people in the apocalypse ever celebrate Christmas? You don't see it in the show. Well, you don't see snow very much in the show. First time we saw snow was the end of season 9. So it's not like we really bring it in around the holidays. Now, that would be interesting to find out if they did celebrate Christmas. Celebrating the birth of a savior who actually became a biter. Well, he died and then he rose again 3 days later. Sounds like a biter to me. Just a very slow one. Holidays. Well, in Woodbury we tried to have holidays, but it was not really your traditional holidays. We didn't really reestablish those, but we did have celebrations when I felt it was necessary. And there'd be fights and, biter matches and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't really traditional holidays. I think in Woodbury we made a clean break. Merry Christmas, here's a sandwich. Thank you. No Swiss, don't like Swiss. So, yeah. So we got a couple questions. In the second half of the season 10 trailer, we see Beta in Alexandria. Do you think that will happen before Alpha's death or before? I think it'd be before or after. That's a good question. I think that Beta, if he goes into Alexandria alone, I'm going to say that'd be like revenge. If Alpha dies, hopefully by Carol, then Beta might go into Alexandria looking for some revenge. And it'd be neat if Negan followed Beta in and we had the final fight between them. Though, can Negan take Beta? That will be something to see. But yeah, I think if he's alone in Alexandria, I think it's revenge. I think Alpha's dead. But who knows? I can't see the future. Have a hard enough time seeing the present with one eye. Negan doing a Christmas twist with the whole Savior theme. What, you think the Saviors would be going out on sleighs and bringing stuff to all the good girls and boys? I have seen Christmas Negans, though, with the hat and the lights wrapped around the bat. Those are pretty clever. But, yeah, I wouldn't imagine that Negan would be spreading the Christmas cheer, though he does seem to like ho-ho-hos. Who do I think will die in the cave? Well, I'm hoping not Jerry, but it looks like he might be in danger. But it's kind of obvious, so I don't think Jerry. I think they're trying to throw us for a loop. But it's quite possible that someone might not make it out. I'm going to go with my guess, Kelly. Just a thought. Plus, there was somebody who said that Kelly dies in a trap that Alpha set. I don't know if they're full of shit or not, but I could see her having a hard time because her hearing goes in and out. So Kelly could definitely be one of the ones who dies. And to be honest, she doesn't really have that much of a connection to the rest of the group, so they do need to get rid of some of these characters. Alright, so anyway, moving on. What else about Season 10? I do think Alpha's a big bitch. I think she made a deal and killed 10 people to enforce his deal, and she had no intention of doing anything as far as sticking with the deal. It's just a little irritating. Not that, I didn't try to make some deals with Rick and, I was going to go back on him, but, when you die, you get some perspective. Kelly is seen in the trailer, so maybe she doesn't die. I don't know. I'm willing to wait and see. I don't want to speculate too much. In fact, I'm sure they'll do another trailer, which I'll react to, but I hate when they do too many trailers. Like with this friggin' Crisis, how many fucking trailers are we going to see? They put out a new one today. It's tonight, damn it. And I hope you're all watching. So Jim says one thing that is worrying is Judith is in Alexandria. Well, obviously. And if Beta's going there, then if some of the main characters, like if Aaron gets attacked by Beta, will Judith save him? That would be fucking hilarious and awesome at the same time. If Judith kills Beta, that would be, talk about your David and Goliath, or Davina and Goliath. That would be an amazing thing. Is Beta the kind, though, to also go after children? I'd be curious to see if he saw Judith there, if he would be less inclined to attack, or if he would just be like, you're in my way, you're an obstacle. She did seem, or rather, Beta did seem to have some bit of feeling even before getting to know them. When Alpha and Lydia first met up with him, he did seem to have a little bit of compassion for the child. So, could be that he's not into killing kids. Yeah, if only that was Michonne. It's beginning to look a lot like Whisper War. Everywhere you go. Yeah, I had to sing it in that way. Maybe Jerry will die. I think it's kind of too obvious. Maybe he'll get bit and they'll cut off his leg so he can be, Micro Herschel, or Herschel version 2, younger Herschel. But yeah, I like Jerry. Jerry's one of the few I enjoy. If he died, it'd be almost as bad as when Shiva died. That's how I'd feel. Focusing on getting us a movie trailer. Well, yeah, I am curious to see what's happening with Rick. I'm not sure what I want to necessarily see happen to him, but Yeah, as long as they don't go too revealing in the movie trailers. When they go and give too much. Speaking of that, um, yes, Judith's death would definitely trigger Negan's inner rage. I don't think he has quite the same kind that I have, but yeah, I think he would go nuts. But back to the whole movie thing, let's talk about this world beyond. Now, first couple trailers came out, I didn't even react to them. Because one was a bunch of kids like, imagine a world where kids grew up in it and didn't know anything else and were still stupid. You know, I didn't really like that first trailer. I mean, didn't really motivate me to watch that new show. The second one, I'm like, what the hell? They still have all the modern conveniences pretty much. They're going to school. It looked like, something like the Breakfast Club or, 16 Candles, Bida style. John Hughes movie, and then, with them wanting to go outside. You want to see a dead body that's still moving around? Stand By Me, anybody? So, it didn't thrill me, and I definitely see with this new trailer by revealing the connection to the Three Circles group, whatever they are. I know there's some name out there for them, but I could care less at this point until I know more. But tied into that organization that has Rick, it's going to be curious to see what happens there. Now, a lot of people say, well, maybe Rick will show up in the new show. But look at the timeline. If it's happening concurrent with the latest season of The Walking Dead, then it's been like 6 years. So Rick's been with that organization or dealt with that organization 6 years ago. So we may not actually see anything. The only thing it kind of gives away is that when Rick's movies are done, that organization is still going to be around in some form, which is a little bit of a spoiler. But all right. Yeah, I saw Beta in Alexandria. We had a drink. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I saw Beta was in the walls of Alexandria. If you watch my reaction to that trailer, I definitely goddamn noticed. And that actually made it into the Skybound compilation. Jim says Jerry is screwed. I mean, he screamed, but a walker was near his leg, or a biter, as I like to call them. And then he screamed, but you don't understand how tricky they can be with editing. He could have screamed about something else entirely. So, it could be just trying to fool us into thinking that he was getting bit. Then again, it could be exactly what it appears to be, that he gets bit and maybe he loses a leg. Should the show end in season 11 or 12? Do they still have more stories to tell? I mean, that's really what we should be asking ourselves here. Season 11 or 12? Maybe. It really depends on what's left after that. But I think if the main show goes, is Fear really going to be able to maintain, along with this new show? World Beyond, is that really going to maintain the Walking Dead universe? I think... I'm not going to say it should end because I want to see what stories they come up with. And even though the comic book ended, they could still come up with new stories. They could go into a different direction. They could come up with new characters. It could become a whole new thing where no one knows what the hell's going to go on. So I'm not going to say it should end because, plus, if it ends in season 12, then after that, I won't be reacting to that show anymore. So, do you really want to lose out on that? CRM, yes, that's what they're calling it. Customer Relationship Management, apparently. Good theory that Jerry will get bitten and lose a leg. One of the newbie survivors. So I'm thinking Kelly, but you know, maybe it won't be Kelly. Magnus would piss me off, so wouldn't be upset to see her go. Connie, I don't want Connie to go because I like her even though she has bad taste in men. She seems to like Daryl. And, you know, maybe he'd become more bearable if he got laid. Be nice. The Three Circles group connected to the Commonwealth, quite possibly. So, if the Three Circles group is connected to the Commonwealth, and the Commonwealth is connected to, you know, whoever this, the World Beyond people, and, you know, the interacted now with Alexandria. So, if they get to the Commonwealth, what does that mean for interacting with Rick? I don't think Rick's in a hurry to come back to the show, though Andrew Lincoln did say it's really cool what they've been doing with the show since he left. Maybe that's a hint. They didn't need you, Rick. But, yeah. I don't like to speculate too much ahead. Again, I like to be surprised in a good way. You know, not in a way like, you know, I could have probably survived that stab from Michonne if it wasn't a fucking Lily. That was a surprise. But I digress. Let's see. Want Heath to appear in the third show? He might. I mean, he might appear in the movies too. Dean says before, if you're still here, thanks for the comment. He's disappointed that Dante didn't get to make out with Maggie, and I don't know. I think that this particular version of Dante wasn't really Maggie's type. Which brings me to this particular thing. You ever notice everybody has a different fucking first name? Everybody. The closest I think we have to the same is Richard and Rick. So it's like we've had Henry, we've had Herschel, we've had, well, Herschel, there is a Herschel Jr. and there is a Rick Jr., but the original characters that had that name aren't around anymore, and they're not necessarily even calling them, well, at least Rick Jr. is RJ. But it is funny that nobody seems to have the same first name. So, and that's not real life. I know growing up, there were so many Davids in my class. How many Mikes do you possibly know? Come on. I just think it's interesting that they're going through every friggin' possible name that you can imagine to avoid repeats. It could get a little confusing, but yeah. Anyways, moving on. Maybe there could be a Dante-like character. Probably won't be named Dante because they don't repeat names. Who ends up meeting up with Maggie. But I kind of like that twist. You know, we have comic Dante we always have, but show Dante, whole new twist. I like having multiples to choose from. Jim's pretty confident that Jerry's going to die. He might. He might get bit, get his leg cut off, and then die later on because he can't exactly hop around too well. Gamma's fate. I don't know. I'm hoping, because I think she's just a very confused girl. I see a little bit of like a grown-up Penny in her, so she latched on to Alpha as like, you know, someone she could look up to, and Alpha turned out to not be someone to look up to. So I'm hoping that she survives and ends up joining the community after the Whisper War is over. Maybe interacting with her nephew, but I wouldn't be surprised if she got killed. Um, Jerry doesn't know about birth control. No, he does not. He does not shoot blanks. That is definitely. Take a place. Hi. Um, did Rick Grimes go back to TWD? No, he's coming for the movies. I don't think he's coming back for the main show anytime soon. I mean, things could always change. He could make an appearance, especially if they do end it after, season 12 or whatever. Maybe they'll do the 3 movies and then, as they're ending the series, have Rick show up in the finale, just kind of like Michael Rosenbaum in the finale of Smallville. Just show up and then, never hear from him again. Now, I'm sure he'll do plenty of other work. Might just put Magna into the cave to save the rest. Yeah, that would be fun. I mean, she was stealing from Hilltop after all they did for her. She needs to die. Yeah, she's getting pretty annoying. Will Michonne see Maggie before she leaves this season? That would be interesting. Kind of a passing of the torch. Has there been any rumor about how Michonne is going to leave? I mean, again, my personal hope is that she dies painfully. She did kill my daughter, took my eye, stabbed me in the back. I think she deserves a very painful death. I wasn't too upset when she got branded by those kids. But, yeah, I don't know. I would hope that they would have one last encounter. And if Michonne is dying, then maybe Maggie will be there to see it. Not that I have all that much against Maggie compared to Michonne. I mean, I did get to see Maggie in a very personal way. I mean, we're not going to talk about that. Alright, Daryl cry first time because Rick died, or he thinks he died. Yeah, he's got an ugly cry face. We had multiple Joeys. Did we have multiple Joeys in Walking Dead? Oh yeah, there was Little Joey and Big Joey. Yeah, saviors. Wow. That's true, I forgot about them, but they didn't last long. Lots of Tims in your class. Jim is saying that the Ginny from Fear, who killed Morgan, and we don't know if Morgan's actually dead yet, but he might be, that her group's connected to the Three Circles group. I don't think so. I think they have similar goals, but she was very curious. She wants to talk to Althea about these helicopters. So I don't think she's connected to the group, but I think if she does get in touch with them, either there's going to be instant friction or instant alliance. Spoilers for Fear. We don't know. If you haven't caught up with Fear, sorry, it looked like in the finale that Morgan might be about to get killed by a bunch of biters. We don't know. If they don't actually get eaten on screen, you're never quite sure. Hell, we don't even know if Laura's really dead. More than likely is, but, we didn't actually see her get eaten, or bit for that matter. So we don't know what's going on with Morgan, if he survives or not. I wouldn't be too upset if he died, because he's all about, we are going to go out and help people. No, I'm sorry, that was my Rick impression. I don't know if I can do a Morgan impression. But anyway, so yeah, no, not really a spoiler if you're caught up. Gam's the new Dwight, absolutely. Can we get Dwight and Morgan back on the original show? I think they were sent out to the new show to help bolster it. I don't know. Be interesting to see more characters. if they do end Walking Dead in season 12, how many characters from Walking Dead are going to be like going out west just for the hell of it? I don't think we're going to get him back on the original show. Austin's a nice guy. I don't really know Lenny as well, but you know, I think I don't know. I think Fear needs to die. Fear is not about fear anymore. It's all about let's help people. We're gonna go out and just help people. Not a big fan of their new thing. And see what it got them? Now they're all separated throughout Ginny's people. Idiots. Let's see here. Someone pushed Magna in the Horde. Yep. That'd be nice. Season 10 will go to Netflix when? I don't know. Because season 10 isn't even over. When does it usually go? Probably the summer? Summer of next year? So you're going to have a ways to wait. One thing, I mean, Sling TV. If you go with Sling TV, you can get, I think it's relatively inexpensive, and you can watch AMC when it comes out. I am not affiliated with Sling TV. But I if you don't want to wait for Netflix, yeah, then something like Sling TV might be the way to go. Maggie Negan scene coming, that is something I want to see. I mean, I know Maggie decided to spare his life because he was suffering already. Seeing him out of the cage, yeah, how they're going to handle that, that might be the reason that Negan leaves the show. I understand in the comics, and again, I don't read the comics all that much. I hear things. I understand that after the Whisper War, Negan decides to just go off into the distance, right off into the sunset. It doesn't really deal with the Commonwealth. I could be wrong. This is what I heard. So it could be his way of exiting instead of riding off into the sunset is Maggie gets a revenge. And then all the people who love Maggie and Negan, how are they going to feel? That would be cool. Hi, Rebecca. Hey, Michelle. Tucker Plays retracted a message, so alrighty then. Aaron will take care of RJ and Judith when Michonne leaves. Possibly. He's already got Grace, so I'll be curious to see if he takes on 2 more kids. But we'll find out. Stop watching? Stop watching what? Oh, so Tucker Plays is because you're not caught up. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're going to get some spoilers here. I did warn. Hagen, thank you so much. I appreciate it. There are a lot of great reactors out there. I hope you check them out. Katie is hilarious. And pretty much, I'd say the majority of the people that are on the underdogs, that are on the Skybound reactions, got some pretty hilarious stuff there. And I've met a few of them. The guy who thinks of himself as Eugene, met him at a Walker Stalker. Nice guy. So I appreciate the fact that you think I'm the best, and I like to think I'm the best, but there are some other good people out there. Do I follow or play Tall Tales Walking Dead? I'm afraid that I don't really get into the video games too much because they have me working too much on videos here. Wait for the governor reflects. It's going to be something. When Beta tried to leave Negan to get eaten, Negan had one chance to jump at Beta, stab him in the throat. Yeah. Well, I think Negan had his priorities right. First survive all these biters, then he could deal with Beta. And I'm a little impressed. Negan, for the most part, has not impressed me. I mean, it took 3 of them to kill me. Rick practically killed him by himself. So, though Rick's one of the worst fighters I've ever seen. For being a cop, he's not a good fighter. So yeah, I think Negan surviving all those biters was quite the accomplishment. James wants to know about Maggie's marvelous breasts. All I will say is they're marvelous, and that's all you're going to get. You're not going to... I may be considered a villain by some, but I'm still a gentleman. And if you happen to meet Maggie and she wants to show you her breasts, go for it. Eugene and Rosita kiss. Yeah, I'm not very excited about them kissing. I think Rosita and Eugene kissing is like the worst thing. Rosita didn't have feelings for Eugene for years, and now she's going to suddenly develop them? I don't think so. I think maybe it's a quick kiss. I have no idea. Some people are coming in, by the way, to this studio, and they're probably going to be loud because they forgot I have a live stream. But here they come. Hello, don't trip over cords.
Oh, hey, Kevin. How's it going?
Not bad. We're on live stream Batwoman, or sorry, Batgirl.
Yeah, she watched it with that Batwoman.
Well, you know, I don't want to be politically incorrect.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
So, yes. I just got
Hi.
Kingdom Come Supergirl.
Yes,
And,
that is what this is.
Oh, you switched.
Yes, I did.
Supergirl, you were, when you left, you were
Hi.
Kingdom Come version. All right, so
Oh, it's delayed. That's what
It
I was
is
Yeah.
like, you're invisible.
you're like,
Oh.
they asked about Maggie's breasts again. I said, you know,
You're in there.
you
Oh.
You're like on the edge.
Oh, that's really
so here's
creepy of me.
Batgirl.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't want to see Eugene and Rosita do anything of that nature.
No one does.
No, it's horrible. Fear has been getting annoying. I just started to decide to react to it, and then shit. You know, it's like it seems to have gotten worse. Favorite character on The Walking Dead? Who's your favorite character on The Walking Dead by the governor?
Oh, I can't quite see.
By the governor?
I'm a little blind.
I used to like Martinez, and I killed him. Tried to watch the last season of Fear. Had to give up at the end. It was going nowhere. Yeah. I agree. So,
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I'm getting flanked.
Yeah. Oh, this happens, you know.
Yes, I saw someone said, Gov, you got all the sugar.
Oh!
Gov gets all the sugar. Wow, Governor, you getting the ladies. Your women is a nerd like us. I love it. Nice costumes. They're both gorgeous costumes. Governor, you're popular. Yes, you are.
What's the...
Oh.
Don't hit the mic. Thank you, Gov. Better says from son Negan kneeling to Alpha like, haha, yep. All right, we're going to go through some of these. They shouldn't have killed Madison. Is she dead, though? Is she? Is she dead? Morgan's faith. I think Morgan's a fool. He used to be a cool character. He needs to go clear some things. And yes, I get all the sugar. Bring it in, ladies.
Bad ears.
Yeah, I get poked by the bat ears.
Yeah, I keep forgetting I have them on. I keep bonking things.
Apparently, I'm a little popular. Do I think Jules is a whisperer? I don't think so. Governor and her DC bombshells? Am I a her? Not a her. Sad lack of Judith and Negan having fun together this season so far. Yeah, but, you know, after Negan kind of, you know, committed manslaughter, I wouldn't call it murder. It was defense, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Defense of someone else, but yeah.
Yeah, Jim says, don't complain, you're getting all the ladies. All right. So, should we get a Supergirl chat? Yeah, see.
I'm not caught up, but I have things I can say.
About Walking Dead?
No, you said a Supergirl chat. I'm like, I'm not caught up, but I
No,
have
'cause
opinions.
Super chat.
Oh, that was a great. I didn't
That
even
was so great. It went past me.
Yeah.
right over the
Sailed
barriers.
right over.
Do I really have only one eye?
Oh no. Yeah.
That's for me to know. I have one
I
eye.
got cats, so you know.
Yeah.
which are
Actually,
not
it's a
around.
flurkin. Yeah, I don't know where the cats are. They're not even behind the green screen. Yeah, not killing off Kane's. Her death right now wouldn't be that impactful, so she'll probably stay around a while, so her and Daryl can get it on. Tiny Rick's his nice costumes. I think he's talking about
hi,
you.
Tiny Rick.
Thanks.
They're both gorgeous. Okay.
Actually, take this purse off because it's.
All right.
Oh no.
Killing off. Yeah.
Still gotta do it.
Jules popped up out of nowhere, same as Dante. Seems suspicious. Yeah, but how many brand new Whisperers does Alpha have to infiltrate? You know, it's that Lydia wouldn't actually know about. And I'm surprised, actually. I would think that Dante joining the community and seeing how everything was better than being in the woods and dirty all the time would probably defect, I would think. Do you think Michonne will even come back in her last episode?
Man, it would be rude if they removed her like Maggie.
Yeah, I
She's
think.
kind of faded out.
Well, we saw in the trailer that she comes back, that she's, on the ship. I think she's going to bring back the weapon. I think it's going to probably turn out to be something like the weapon has to be manually activated. So she jumps into the horde of biters and activates the weapon, and
like a
boom.
nuke.
Yeah, and I would say probably a one of those solid air. What do they call them? The air fuel bombs, something like that. Something really powerful, but not nuclear. But yeah, I think she's gonna come back, but I just hope she just dies painfully. How many heads are in my aquarium? Well, Michonne broke my aquariums. I lost most of my heads, so I'm rebuilding. I've got 3.
You need more head. Heads.
Got a couple of heads right here. Watch the mic.
I wasn't touching it.
Place the eye patch with the glass eye. Nah, I like this statement. It says, there's no fucking glass eyes in an apocalypse. Where do these people get glasses in an apocalypse? That's what I'm curious about.
I guess they just have
You just
them.
rob the stores.
Or they, broken.
But they like prescription lenses?
I mean, if they have really old ones, they worn forever. I don't know.
Governor, real or fake Christmas tree for us? There will be no Christmas tree because we got these goddamn cats around here.
Like, if anything, we'll just, slap a cardboard one on the wall, but that's...
Yeah, we have a
That's
Charlie
unlikely.
Brown Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And it's got one ornament.
No, well, kind of, yeah.
Kind of. The ladies in their costumes are making the boys hot and bothered. Well, at least James is hot and bothered.
Yeah, the boys.
I think Jules is a whisperer because she knows all about the communities like Alexandria, Hilltop, Kingdom, and Oceanside. Maybe. Again, I don't want to think too much because if I get attached to something and it doesn't happen, then I'm going to be pissed. Or if I do predict something and it happens, then I'll be accused of giving out spoilers. So, will Alpha, I think those 2 ladies annoying you a little.
If we are,
No.
we can just go undress, you know.
Yeah.
We don't have
You don't have to
stay.
go undress. You can just undress.
You get demonetized.
That content though.
Yes, but
Views? Demonetization.
Yeah.
if you want them to undress without actually leaving,
Super chat.
super chats. That's what we need.
Super chat. We're not joking. At least I'm not.
Will Alpha make it to season 11? I hope not. I hope she dies.
Yeah.
I hope Carol takes her out. But,
Just unsettling.
yeah. I mean, Samantha Morton, awesome actress.
Yeah.
She's doing an awesome job.
Just like the presence is.
Yeah, it's creepy. James would donate his head to my aquarium. I appreciate that, James. I will make arrangements for pickup. Explosive from the CDC in season 2, maybe yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Something like very hot bomb with an area effect. But those were like bombs throughout the CDC, designed in case of an outbreak of some kind of virus. So I don't know if that would actually be something portable that Michonne could bring around. But that explosive could take out Office Horde. I like the tilted heads, Michelle. Yes. Michonne is so rude. She broke into my place, killed my daughter, jabbed me in the eye with broken glass, and then later on she was such a backstabber. Ugh. Magna, yeah, Magna's pissing me off, and yeah, she's super annoying. Really an inconvenience. Thinks she needs to die.
Super annoying. Really an inconvenience.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fire plus walkers equals fire spread. Not in a cave. Tiny Rick wants to know why you ladies are wearing these costumes.
You mean people don't just wear costumes all the time?
Oh
This
no.
this is how they dress for work.
It's Sunday.
Well,
It's costume
Every
day.
Sunday's DC day.
to be honest, I'm shooting in this as a Patreon only shoot, so she came all the way here to be my photographer. She's an excellent photographer, and I said she should wear something warm. So we got some pictures of her. She is Curious Cat cosplay. I made an art. We're all over the channel. You should see the pictures at some point on our Instagrams.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, HFG, for that for the super chat. Found us through a Walking Dead fan reaction. I'd imagine on.
Oh, they gave us money to stay clothed.
Wow.
Whoa!
No, I will pay you to keep your clothes on.
Oh man.
We're gonna take this as not insulting. We're gonna try to take this as not insulting. That's for a whole nother kind of. When they log into your other channel, that's where you can get undressed. Appreciate that. Is Batwoman and Batgirl related in DC Comics? No, actually.
Mm-mm.
Batwoman is related. She's the
Batman.
cousin of Batman, whereas Batgirl is the daughter of Commissioner Gordon, or niece, depending on continuity.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Because they definitely they banged.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not
Back.
saying that was a good
It
thing,
wasn't.
but at
It's
least
not
they're
my
not
favorite
related.
choice.
All right,
Yep.
The Killing Joke, animated, horrible. I mean, yeah, it was one of the most disturbing things to see Batman and Batgirl going at it. So even Kevin Conroy was like, "What the fuck?"
That's not my favorite choice.
James wants me to undress. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well, you're gonna have to pay up some money there, buddy. And yes, Michonne has no house manners. Anyone character's death that would cause you to quit watching, or could everyone be wiped out and you'd be good with it? I mean, it's actually. I wouldn't say that there's any one death that would piss me off enough to quit watching. If they got rid of everybody, I don't know that I'd really be as inclined to watch, but then again, I have to do reactions, so I would probably still watch, but I would complain even more.
You mean you would be forced to watch?
Yeah.
Because that's the story of this series.
HFG prefers naked men.
Yeah,
Okay.
Those are decent. Yeah.
All right.
Can't really argue.
I mean, a few people getting wiped out I'd be good with, but yeah, it's hard to watch a show when you're not really attached to anybody. Sometimes I'll start watching a new show and I'll be like, why am I supposed to care about these fucking people? Will Coral die in season 11 or make it to 12? Tiny Rick, I think you mean Carol?
Coral died.
Because Coral. It's like, what do books say to Daryl? Hey, Norman, read us. Haha. Sorry.
Coral.
Coral.
Said read.
He said, read us. Yeah, Dad. Stop, Dad. Please, Dad.
Stop, Mom just died.
Will Carol die? There's only like 2 people left from season 1, and that's Carol and Daryl. Which, will they keep, will they just keep Daryl as the only one from season 1 to survive? Well, I think it'd be kind of good if they kept Carol around, but I think she needs to get her head back on straight. Maybe when she bashes in Alpha's head, that will help her get her own head on straight. Coral! If Judith dies, everyone will purge?
Yeah.
Yes.
What about RJ? Do people care enough?
Yeah, do people actually care about RJ? He's like, we've seen him like for about 13 seconds
I mean,
on
people didn't
screen.
really care about Judith until she grew up. So.
Yeah, she was kind of annoying, and now, she's a little katana girl.
Yeah.
Have I been to the fan site, the Spoiling Dead Fans? No, because I try to avoid spoilers. I know people I could get in touch with, and I could find out all the spoilers I want, but where's the fun in that? The man thinks Daryl is definitely going to make it to the end.
If they know their moneymaker.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're probably paying him more than anybody else on the show. Matt, welcome. It has been a long time. Welcome to the live stream. And as you can see, I have special guests. And one of them will be in Crisis. The other one might be
Some capacity.
in some capacity. Huntress is supposed to be on there.
I just wanted to know that they're so bad.
You look great, Supergirl.
Thank you.
And let's see, what else were we talking about? All right, I'm going to switch subjects, even though you guys are distracting. There's been yet another article saying that could there be a Governor prequel series on The Walking Dead? And they made a big deal out of the fact that David Morrissey said that he would love to come back and play the role. He has been saying that since I've met the man. I mean, my very first interaction with him, he was on stage with Scott Wilson. May he rest in peace, Miss Scott. And I asked if he would be interested in coming back for like a prequel, something like, Rise of the Governor. And he said back then, and that was what, 2014, 15, something like that.
He's not going to say no.
Yeah. One, he's an actor.
Hated it.
He's an actor. So if they give him enough money, he's pretty much going to do it, as long as it's not something that's going to trash his career. And, he spoke about fondly about his time on The Walking Dead, so why wouldn't he want to come back and do that? And then the way they could bring back Martinez and Shumpert and Milton and do this great thing. I think they should bring me on the show just to be his brother. That would be cool. But David wanting to do it has nothing to do with whether or not it's going to happen. He's been wanting to do that for years. Now, maybe if Britannia's on a break, or I don't know if it's going to be renewed or not, maybe they've been talking to David about it, but his schedule hasn't allowed it. I think it would make sense for them to do that series, and I'd love to see it.
And the sooner the better.
And the sooner the better, because, none of us are getting any younger. De-aging can only do so much.
And on a TV budget, that's not going to look great.
Yeah.
It didn't even really work in it.
So I think they need to move on that fast. And I certainly hope it does happen, but don't get too excited when you see articles saying David Morrissey says he'll come back and play the governor. Yeah, I can show you a video from years ago where he said the exact same thing. So when they say we want David to come back and play the governor and we've arranged something and it's going to happen, then get excited. Simple as that.
Because way back, Gimple did say that he wanted to work on shows with familiar characters.
Yeah, that was like...
That was like a year ago.
I think that was like before season 9.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how the Rick movies were going to come out. Or it might have been like halfway through season 9. But he said the Rick movies are going to come out and they're working on other things.
And he wasn't just talking about the new series because he wanted to revisit characters.
Right. So the governor makes more sense than anybody, as far as I'm concerned.
Although on Talking Dead, 6% of people said he was the favorite villain. It's just
well, that's why they need to bring me back. All right. Let's see. Gerald's definitely making it to the end. Hello, Governor. So do you? We will get back to The Walking Dead talking about being infected no matter what. Yeah, I think being infected, going forward in society, they're just going to get used to, okay, this person just died. Stab them in the head. People want me to undress. All right. Or do they want you guys to undress? Pay no attention. Unclear.
Everybody get naked.
Yeah.
Unclear.
No, because it's actually cold in here.
It's true.
It's because I had to turn off the heat or else the vent would be interfering. What will the timeline be for Governor prequel?
Yes.
I would hope that they would actually start it with the...
No.
I would hope that a Governor prequel would start with the actual apocalypse happening and his journey there. So, and I did ask David to recommend me to play his brother if such thing happens. So I hope he remembers that, David, if you're watching, which you're probably not because you're a busy guy. But just to remind you, at least, let me do a little audition. I think I might impress him. I can work out. Anyway, so yeah, I'm hoping that if they do a prequel, they start it with the apocalypse and we see him and eventually him coming into Woodbury and taking over. Will I do an interview on Talk Dead to Me, the new YouTube podcast? That would be great. If they ask me, I'd be happy to. Johnny Odell's a great guy. I'd love to. So Johnny, I invited him to come watch the live stream. I don't know if he's able to make it. But yeah, I'd love to. I see that Katie was on there, and is it Michonne?
I think. Michonne.
They've both been on there, so I'll be happy to be there. Not a problem, but they haven't asked me yet, so we'll see. Yeah, Henry has to put his money where his mouth is if he wants to see you guys take off any, we need a hell of a super chat.
$5 gets
the cowl off.
Yep.
It's like strip poker.
Yeah.
Cowl, the cape, the belt,
Gloves.
the gloves,
Yep.
the boots.
The man is asking about what happened to the RPG that Abraham found in season 6. They could wipe out the Horde with that. Just saying. Well, I think they could wipe out a portion of the Horde with that. And if they had a big enough bonfire, that could take care of a big chunk. But I know that Negan confiscated it. I'm still wondering where the hell did all the guns go? They had guns. And Eugene was supposed to be Mr. Bullet Maker. And now they pretty much have so few guns. What the hell? They can't, shouldn't be that difficult. Eugene was able to make, bad bullets, but he knows how to make them right. So it's kind of irritating that they would do that. But yeah, that RPG, I don't know how much ammo it had left. It might have been actually used, less the ammo in the Savior War, the All-Out War. So having an RPG launcher doesn't help without the ammo.
You can play David's stunt double.
I could do that and get beat up.
You know how to beat people up.
Individual single movie prequels for Netflix release would be better. It's not that convenient for you to get to a cinema. Sorry, Bane. Do they not let you in with the mask? I was born in the dark. You adopted it. Yeah, well, I'm sure the movies will eventually... I think they're doing I don't think they're doing a regular movie release. I think it's going to be shows up in movie theaters and then it's going to be on TV right afterwards. So kind of like what they do with a lot of the Doctor Who specials. So yeah, David Morrissey Walking Dead or Morrissey Doctor Who, discuss. I like them both.
Why not both?
Why not both?
Always both.
I'm the Doctor, simply the Doctor, the one, the only, and the best. Stand back, sir. This is a job for a Time Lord. Yeah, I have that costume too. Play as David's stunt double. Yeah, that would hurt. I'd rather have stunt doubles. I'd rather be his brother. Even if I get killed, in an episode, then I could not go to Walker Stalker cons. We'll talk about that in a minute. Katie and Michonne are both hilarious. Yep, I love the reactions. And Katie's accent is just, wild. I've watched some of her stuff, and she's just a cool chick with a lot of bad language, which is fine. I never fucking swear, but if other people want to. Yeah, Michonne's a very good reactor. She's definitely committed to the show, or should be committed, or something like that. Yeah, there are a lot of great reactors on there. Married to the Real. Not sure which ones they are. I know there's Nikki and Steve on there. The redheaded guy always looks shot. I know who you're talking about. He's got permanent shock on his face.
Resting surprise.
Literally nobody. Black people? I don't know what you're trying to say. So we're going to skip over that. The Underdogs come out with some hilarious shit, I have to say. But yeah, moving on. Oops, didn't mean to send this. Probably not. Savory FG and would add Nikki and Steven. Yeah, they're good. I like Nikki a little more than Steven. It's just, the way I am. Yeah. And what 3 characters of the current cast would you like to see make it to the end? That's a good question. Judith, I'd like to see make it to the end.
Would have liked to see Sadiq.
Yeah, Sadiq would have been nice. Actually, Lydia, I'd like to see make it to the end. And could care less about RJ. At one point, I would have said Aaron, but Aaron is so fucking inconsistent and idiotic nowadays. So,
Gabriel?
I mean, sure, Gabriel, but
Sure.
he wouldn't be like one of my top 3.
Luke?
Eugene. I'd like to see Eugene make it to the end just because, the geek should inherit the earth. Yeah, that made the chat a little awkward, so we're going to ignore that part. All right, so what's next on our agenda? So how many people here have ever been to a Waka Stalker Con? I'm just curious. It's not that I don't like RJ. It's that he has made no impact. And I found it hilarious when it's like Judith said something like, if it's not safe, you shouldn't be asleep. And he was there right in the bed at that moment, snoozing away.
It's not smart to sleep.
It's not smart to sleep when it's dangerous, when it's not safe. So when it's not safe, you shouldn't be just sleeping. And he was just there snoozing his head off. Not that he could have done anything, but, he's a little kid. But he hasn't made an impact on me. He hasn't been in the show enough. I mean, yeah, you're right. Judith, who cared about Judith for all that time? You want Coral's corpse to make it to the end. I think that's probably already degraded. If Glenn was alive, I think he probably would have been co-ruling Hilltop with Maggie. I don't know, it's kind of a odd situation because the whole way Maggie became leader of Hilltop was might have had something to do with Glenn's death, but yeah, I'd like to think that he would be in Hilltop. So people have not been to Waka Stalkers. Well, don't think that's going to change in the future. I had gone to Waka Stalkers for many years. I think they started in, was it 2013? Something like that. I think the next year is the first one I went to. I've been to a lot of Waka Stalkers, and they used to be very fun, but they've had some troubles. And a lot of the actors from The Walking Dead will not be going back to Waka Stalker Con. So I think, unfortunately, it was a good con at one point, but I think it's gone. It's not going to happen.
But next year.
But next year, and this puts another nail in the coffin for Waka Stalker, Fandemic Tour is doing Fandemic Dead in Atlanta the week before they scheduled Waka Stalker Atlanta. So, Fandemic, growing con, but the guy who runs it used to be CEO of Wizard World, and he knows his shit. And I went to Fandemic Houston, and he had a couple of the Walking Dead actors there, so he'll probably have the guests. I don't see what the point of having a Waka Stalker Atlanta is going to be if it's a week after another Walking Dead convention in the same town, and that convention's probably going to actually have guests.
Yeah, and if he has the guests that people want to see, people aren't going to want to or be able to do both.
He's already got Norman Reedus and what's his face?
Jeffrey?
Yeah, that Morgan guy, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So he's somewhat popular, plays some moron on the show, but yeah, he's already got them, so what's the point?
Not to mention all the actors actually speaking out against Walker Stalker.
Yeah, it's a shame. If they had tried to turn things around earlier, they might have been able to do things, but I think they let it get too bad, and I'm going to miss the good days of that con, but My prediction for Walker Stalker is you're not going to see it. Probably Atlanta next year is going to get canceled too. So, Eugenia Rosita, will that be a fake out? Maybe.
I hope so.
I hope
I
so.
hope it's a dream sequence of his.
Or he goes to kiss Rosita and she lets him get close and backs up and slaps him and says, "What the hell are you doing, you
What's
fucking
wrong with you?
geek?
How many times?
I already told you." Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen.
Because that would be really, I think, a bad way to treat her. If they did, because after all of the times of her saying she wasn't interested, if she finally was, it would be very disrespectful to her character.
And very unrealistic. It's people don't really leave the friend zone without a lot of work. I did it once. Just once. It's tough. Never been to a con. Bane is an introvert.
Yeah.
Large crowds. Yeah, if there are some cons that are laid back. I wouldn't say that a lot of the Walker Stalkers in their heyday would have been good for you, but since you don't like large crowds, going to them now would be fine.
She sure did.
We're going to get to that. The Governor of Dealt with the Whispers, I have an entire video on how I would have taken out their horde, and then I would have hunted down those fuckers and killed them all. Kill them all! Let's see. Yeah, it's a shame. Do you think Michonne, her exit will be her death or a jump to the movies or something else? I'm hoping death, but I'm afraid it's going to be a jump to the movies. We're a little behind, so we're going to go speed through. How awesome would it have been if the governor was still alive to meet Negan? I like to see two psychos go at it. Yeah, I think, I don't think they would have gotten along very well. It would have been very cool, though, to have them meet up. After Lily shot him in the head, but since they didn't actually enter until like the next, because that was at a mid-season finale, or it might have been the end of season 4. So it happened at a finale, but since we didn't actually see the bullet go in, we kind of hoped that the governor was still around, but didn't happen. That would have been nice if they met. HFG says, think Maggie and Glenn would have left for somewhere else together by now. Possible. Yeah, that would... and then they would have ended up on Fear and probably improved the show. Or not. They'd all be like kumbayas now. Yeah, so Def Walking Dead, the actress who plays Kelly, was yelled at by a security guard for playing with a support dog and not hearing the security guard at Walker Stalker Con. So yes. What's her name again?
Angel Theory.
Angel Theory,
And
yes.
they didn't have an interpreter provided by the con, so a fan had to volunteer her time.
So, Walker Stalker is in a lot of debt, and they bought in a lot of guests, though some of them canceled last minute. They bought in a lot of guests for the last Walker Stalker Atlanta, but they also decided at the same time, because they wanted to make as much money as possible, to go super cheap with everything. So they didn't hire interpreters, not that they've paid some in the past. They cut down on a lot of things, except security for James Frazier himself. And pretty much because of that, she didn't have an interpreter. She got yelled at by a security guard who didn't understand that she was deaf and couldn't hear what he was saying. And yeah, it was not a fine hour for Walker Stalker. So you bring in a deaf actor or actress, you make sure you have an interpreter. Come on. The Fire Rises. What if Rosita Jean Kiss is a death scene set up with an arrow to the head like Denise? Do we really think we want Rosita to be about to be kissed by Eugene and an arrow gets put through her head? Or Eugene it might be like, I'm about to get a kiss from the love of my life. And he dies. That would be.
But that's not what we want her last
No.
moments to be.
No, I think she'd probably be a little more psycho. She already had to kill Sadiq. Well, kill his biter, so.
I think I'm gonna de-batify, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep. Or a bit,
Yeah, and you're just standing around.
doing
All right, go get naked.
We're gonna
I'll
go
be
undress.
I'll be up in a bit.
Stop.
Get the lube. All right. And it's weird. I'm looking at the screen. You're still there. It's a lag. What? Yeah. I just hope that they don't really get together. You know. Yeah. I don't know what drug she's on. That word hurt. Matt, like the cheer up panel. Well, yeah, it was great to have Melindy Britt. I love RetroCon, one of my favorite cons, and they will be around as long as they decide to still be around. They are not in any monetary trouble. So, retrocons.com, go check them out. And they have a lot of great retro guests. So, moving on. Will Maggie come back or is she done with the series? She is supposed to be back by the end of this season, and she is signed up for season 11. So Maggie will return. I'll be curious to hear what she has to say about Negan. They're legally required to provide an interpreter if she requested one. I don't know if she requested one or if it was part of her contract or she didn't realize that they weren't providing one, but yeah, they've been screwing up at Walker Stalker. Is it true The Walking Dead will be ending at season 12? There are rumors about that. There's a site called We Got This Covered, and sometimes they put out these outlandish rumors, and sometimes they turn out to be true, and sometimes they don't. So I wouldn't put too much faith in that. It's quite possible it'll end after season 12 if it's no longer profitable, but if they can still wring a profit, they're not going to end it. So a lot of things can happen before season 12. No, they are not my daughters. Definitely not my daughters. The kittens, I don't know where the kittens are right now. They're probably napping. Sounds like they're upstairs on the second floor of this wonderful place you see here. Can something make me cry in TWD like the death of my favorite character? I actually got a little teary-eyed when Shiva went. Because Shiva, for being a CGI tiger, I loved Shiva. Did not want Shiva to die. Welcome, Hugo from Portugal. Glad you're tuning in. One of the reasons that I did it at this time, at 3 p.m., is that way people on the West Coast, it'd be 12 p.m., but also people in Europe, it'd be like 9, 10 p.m. Wouldn't be too late for people in Europe to tune in. Unfortunately, people in China, it's not going to be a good time for them. Do I let the cats play with the heads in my fish tanks? Not really, because those heads are still a little bit animated. And I don't want them to accidentally pull one of the heads out and then someone gets bit like the maid. You know, it'd just be horrible. So, but they bat at the glass a lot. And the heads in there are definitely interested in getting to know my cats. Um, Kirsten, I definitely, I am not going to put any faith in someone saying that the show is ending at a certain time. I don't think it's going to end again anytime soon, as long as they can make a profit. I mean, once Gimple says it's ending, once Angela Kang says it's ending, then I'll believe it's ending. But no, rumors like that, it's sensational clickbait. That's all it is. Sven, really? Shiva was the best pussy you ever saw? Need to get out more. Shiva, hands down, the only character I ever really liked in all the series. Yeah. I mean, Dale. Dale was a character I never got to meet. He probably wouldn't have not. He probably wouldn't have liked my character all that much. But yeah, Dale. Dale's someone I did actually enjoy. Great governor from Argentina. Awesome. Do I think Rick will return at the end of the series with Michonne? I think when the series does end, which I don't necessarily think will be at the end of season 12, I think something will happen where Rick, if he's still alive after the movies, will show up. And if Michonne is still alive at that point, she may show up as well. So I think it'll be like, and it'll be some like, we're now facing a brand new future together, fade out to black. Yeah, some bullshit like that. I'm sure they'll try to bring him back. And Axel, I love your stuff, man. Thanks for the hours of entertainment. Watch your videos at least 3 times or more. You're out. Thank you. I don't know how you watch them so many times. I have to watch them a lot of times because I got to edit that shit. But wow. But thanks, Brody. Minnesota. Is it Tiago? Yeah, again, I know there's a lot of people in Europe, and I feel bad that, I can't accommodate everybody, but whenever I can, I want to make sure that I can actually reach out to everyone. Anyways, we've been on this stream for almost an hour and a half, so I'm going to start wrapping up. I do want to say there's a link in the description of this video to the Patreon. And if you would like to sign up and become a patron, it'd be really appreciated. The more patrons we have, the more actual content we can put out, because it does actually cost quite a bit to go to these cons, and it costs to, I'm hoping eventually that, because right now I have to do this part-time, I'm hoping eventually to go full-time so I could put out even more videos. And quick thing, if the governor was going to react to another TV series, not Walking Dead related, what should it be? Let me know either in the comments here or in the comments below. That's be easier for me to read. But yeah, for our Patreon, we appreciate any support. We do have a couple great supporters. Jake Osceolo is one of them. And let me actually go on here and find... Let me just get on to here, because we do have a couple supporters right now. And Jake, I know he had helped us out with some coffees, and which was awesome. Let me just see here. We have Michelle. Thank you so much for being a patron. And Jake, So thanks you guys for being patrons, and we'll actually have some other content. We already put some exclusive content. We have a Star Trek panel that we can't have on YouTube, but we put it for patrons only on Patreon. And we'll be doing the Governor Reflects. We're working on the first couple episodes every 2 weeks, starting in December, which I know we're already in December, so give it a week or so for the first episode. But we're going to start putting out Season 1, Episode 1, Season 1, Episode 2 reactions all the way up until we eventually catch up. We'll throw in Fear eventually when we catch up in the timeline to that, and maybe some other stuff, so exclusive stuff. So if you would like to check that out, Stay Metal, thank you. Nottingham, wow. I'm imagining that's Nottingham in the good old UK. Let's see. People want me to Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. The Governor reacting to Game of Thrones. That would be very cool. Do I think there will be more Doctor Who? Absolutely. They're starting the new Doctor Who on January 1st, so I'm looking forward to that. I may see if my ancestor, Jackson, might want to react to that episode. Because, you know, he thought he was a doctor at one point. Becca's looking forward to the Governor Reflects. Awesome. Yeah, so as I said, link to the Patreon is in the description. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. We also now have a companion channel that just started. It's got its very first video. For those who like our toy reviews, it's called Toy Spotlight. If you go to our main channel, Fandom Spotlight, it should be listed on the right. Or you can actually go to the community tab and it brings you right to the first video. So if you like any of the toy stuff, we're putting that on a different channel. Fandom Spotlight, of course, will still have the reactions and the convention stuff and the interviews. And thanks so much for coming in, guys. I appreciate it. We will see you next time, maybe at Fandemic Dead. Hoping to hit that. And looks like a last question. Do I think Madison will return to Fear? Well, if Morgan's leaving, it does leave kind of something out there. Though Morgan could be saved. Wouldn't it be interesting if he was saved by Madison? I'm not going to speculate, but I think it would be really cool. And thanks for sharing that, Adam. You might want to look into some micro trimmers. Just be very careful. All right. Paul, looks like you've come in just as we're ending this. Glad everyone had fun. And Adam, I'm very happy for you. I usually get someone else to do it. In fact, I've never done it myself. We will see you next time. Everyone, keep the faith. We'll definitely do a reaction to the mid-season trailer when they come out with it before February, and we'll see you in February. And keep it real. Take care, guys. Governor, out.